So I got a story time for y'all. And I basically want to talk about me investing 20, $30,000 in myself and how that's helped me change my business and get to the next level, essentially. Because I think it's important that we talk about these types of things because the simple fact of the matter is when you invest in yourself, you do get to the next level. So in today's video, we're basically gonna talk about that. So get your popcorn, whatever you want to get, and let's get straight to it. So I want to talk about it in different tiers. So there was one $10,000 mentorship that I invested in. This was early 2024. This was January 2024, as a matter of fact. So I invested in this program because of the simple fact of the matter was I wanted to learn how to become a better leader, run my ads and things like that because I did the whole YouTube University thing as far as looking at the advertisement. I've hired people, but I kind of thought like, okay, let me learn this shit, right? And the best way to learn something is to invest with someone that already did it at a higher level than you, right? So that was what I did. I invested the $10,000. I didn't hop on a sales call and be like, what's the guarantee? And say, all these things that poor people be saying, right? So I hopped on a call, I paid it, and it helped me get to the next level because I was able to structure my own mentorship program in a better way and just understand what and why people were attracted to certain ads. So ever since then I've been running my own ads, and I say that to say like if I didn't invest in that program, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't have been as successful as I've been within my funding company, within my credit repair company. It's just that me investing in myself is what allowed me to get to that next level. And one thing I'll say about it too, and this is why I like to tell it in the form of a story. If you've seen the concept I talk about called God made marketing, God made marketing is one of the concepts that I talk about from a marketing perspective. And it wasn't just something that I just woke up and made up like that. The philosophy and everything came as inspiration from this $10,000 program that I invested in myself. So you can make the argument that I wouldn't have created that whole philosophy, God made marketing, if I didn't make that investment in myself. So you got to understand that the devil uses fear and people's just being scared to take a risk as a way to hold people back from getting to the next level. There's a book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. And in that book, he basically talks about that. He's interviewing the devil. He talks about the fact that fear is something that holds people back. So I say that to say for you, if you're watching this, go invest with that mentor. Go invest with that mentor. And I'm going to tell you something further about a different $10,000 program. This was around the summer. So I want to say it was like July of last year that I invested in it. So the next $10,000 program that I invested within the same year, it was a program with other business funding people. So when I got in that program, by the way, I don't know if these programs are the same price as when I got in it. So just FYI, right? So when I got in that program, I was able to network with some other business funding professionals. And this was important for me too, because a lot of people that I make connections with as of even now within my business has came from that program. So you got to think about it, right? We all invested and we were in being in the same environment. So imagine I didn't make that investment. I'm not saying that I wouldn't be successful, but business is about just those touches, right? Touching as many people as possible. If I didn't make this investment in this group that I was in, then I wouldn't I'm not going to say I wouldn't have been as successful, but I wouldn't have made the connections I made by being in that group. I've collaborated with people being in that group, right? So that's more people for my business. I've used some of those people's bank relationship managers from that group. So some of the banks that I don't publicly talk about, I'll take some of my clients and I'll collaborate with them. Imagine if I wasn't in that mindset of, oh, I'm going to invest in myself with more knowledge and more information. Sometimes some people think about it like, oh, I'm investing this money. Why am I paying this person? Right? Maybe you have a cheap mindset. You might look at it like, oh, I'm paying this person. I got to invest this money. What's in it for me? Right? Obviously, that's a natural inclination to think what's in it for me. You got to think about the possibilities, right? This is a problem for the poor. Rich people, we don't have this whole big skepticism thing. Poor people's favorite thing is being skeptical. Everything is a scam. Uh, what's the guarantee? You know, that type of thing. That's how the poor operate. But if you're a rich, successful business owner, right? Or if you're on the way there, if you're watching this, maybe you're on the way over there, right? You have to operate in basically a manner where you're open to taking risks, right? It was definitely a risk. I could have hopped in another 10K program. Maybe I didn't get nothing out of it. It wasn't even the information I got. My biggest value was getting access to networking with other like-minded individuals that also paid to be in the same damn program, right? So I honestly didn't know that was going to happen. But because I've been investing in myself for years, I used to work a 9 to 5 back in 2022. I retired in June 2022. But when I was working my 9 to 5, I was looking on how to escape. I wasn't thinking like, okay, I'm just going to YouTube University it forever. I paid the damn money, right? I invested with multiple mentors that were not working the 9 to 5, and I got there. If you are working a 9 to 5 right now, you have a credit repair business or funding business, and you have to work a 9 to 5 because your business is not making as much money to be able to sustain yourself to where you don't have to work that 9 to 5, you need a mentor. You need to invest in that mentorship. You need to invest in a mentor. It don't got to be me, but you got to invest in a mentor, right? And one thing with me too, I've gotten to a point in business that with the whole mentorship thing, it's cool. But to be transparent, I make significantly more money from doing the shit that I teach people to do versus me teaching people, how to do it. So when it comes to mentorship, it's not really you're getting the better end of the deal, right? Because if I'm mentoring you, I'm taking time away from my business to go and get people to the next level. As I'm recording this video right now, right? When I'm done recording this video, I got to get back on follow-ups. I got to collect payments for the credit repair. I got to collect payments for funding, stuff like that. When I'm mentoring you, if I'm taking the time to do all that, you're the one that's getting the benefit because I'm letting you around this rich ass energy, right? I'm letting you around these systems that we operate. I'm letting you around all that. So this is why I'm more focused in terms of increasing the price of one-on-one mentorship with me. I think what we're gonna do because we have the 10K program, which is like a group mentorship. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it maybe put it at just like $5,000 and then increase the price of the one-on-one mentorship because I've been seeing the people that do the one-on-one, they tend to have the highest like the best testimonials, I'll say. Not to say that you can't be successful in the other programs, because if you look at my channel, you see the 10K program testimonial videos I've done with people. But my private one-on-ones, I'm able to work with these people one on one. So I think that's kind of why they tend to be better case studies, if you will. But I say that to say, just pay the damn money, pay that damn mentor, right? Yeah, you could do your due diligence. Yeah, people are scamming and all that, right? Poor people are the people that focus too much on this. Oh, it's skeptical. It's a scam. It's this. You're wasting all this time not making money when you could just invest in someone, take that risk, and then go make money. Give yourself the guarantee, right? So me joining that other the 10K mentorship, a different 10K mentorship, where it was focused on business funding, that was what allowed me to build up new connections and just I made way more than the $10,000 on that investment. So I say that to say I didn't know if that was gonna happen. I didn't even know it was gonna be me collaborating with people, and that was gonna be the value that I got from there. In the previous 10K mentorship, where I learned to be a better coach, better leader, and everything, I was just looking for running the ads. I didn't know I was going to network with people over there as well. I didn't know I was going to come up over here and create a God made marketing, that kind of thing. So when you invest in yourself, you just learn new knowledge, right? And one thing too, I wanted to talk about investing at least $30,000. It's been more, to be honest, but I want to talk about just running ads because last year, February 2024, it was a month after I joined that 10K program where I was learning about running ads. I was like, okay, cool. The previous month I spent like maybe $4 or $5,000 on ads. Let me double it, right? So I spent about just under $10,000 on ads. So if you want to add that to in addition to the other two 10K programs I invested, you could say, that's that. But I say that to say these people that I got from that month in that February 2024, we're in April 2025 right now, right? So over a year later, some of these leads are still people in my pipeline. Some of these are people that we're booking calls for because we've been doing the nurturing, doing the email marketing, having them in the automation sequence. having them get freebies. We drop in our description box, and these are people that were closing over time. So I say that to say, if I didn't run the ads to have visibility within my business, then I wouldn't have been able to get these leads that are eventually going to turn into paying customers. Sometimes it takes time. It goes back to what I be saying about the 7 hour rule, right? Y'all got to understand that people need to be seeing you consistently. People need to be seeing you drop game consistently. People need to be familiar with you. People need to know, like, and trust you. Some of y'all that's watching this video, this is going to fill up your 7 hour rule and your 7 hour threshold, if you will. And then you're going to book the call. You're going to do business with us. So I say that to say as well, sometimes investing yourself is not necessarily investing in a coach, it's investing in those ads, right? A lot of people get scared to run ads. What if it don't work? What if it does work? Right? What if it don't work? What if it does work? It goes back to what I said. The devil uses fear to hold y'all back. The devil uses fear so that y'all will stay poor. The devil loves that y'all be scary when it comes to business. Those of y'all that are successful in business, you know that maybe those around you that may be scary, you know that you have a different mindset from them, right? Or maybe you have the right people around you, and maybe you're the one that's the most scary when it comes to investing. But at the end of the day, you got to invest in yourself. And that's just what I've learned in terms of investing at least 30K plus into myself. My personal development, advertisement as well, as far as visibility, you know what I'm saying? So I say that to say if you are a business owner, if you're a credit repair business owner specifically, and maybe you're doing anywhere from 5K to 20, 30K a month and you're looking to grow, add additional revenue, I'm not making you a guarantee because you might be the laziest person on the planet that ever joined my program, right? I'm not saying that that's the case, but it's possible. So if you do want to grow, I'll have a link in the description. We'll see if we can help you scale. Like I said, we're probably just going to modify because I want to. I've been seeing the how do I say it? The ROI in doing one-on-one mentorship. So that'll be a higher five-figure investment. Maybe temporarily for now. We're gonna see if the value decreases by us reducing the price of the 10K group mentorship to 5K. But yeah, we'll have a link in the description for that. And just book the call and apply, and then we'll see if it makes sense for you to do a group mentorship or if it makes sense to do a one-on-one mentorship. But remember, at the end of the day, these investments and everything you're making, you're I'm getting the short end of the stick, to be honest, because I'm using time to make money in my business. But if I got to take time away to coach people, you're getting the benefit. And I wish when I was in your position, I wish that I had a mentor like that where I could just connect with them and then they helped me get to the next level. Because when I was working at scamming ass 9 to 5, I was a chemical engineer. It was good paying, I'm not gonna lie. But I just I didn't like the 9 to 5. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna sit here and complain all day because I don't want to focus on that. But with that being said, hopefully this little story time, big story time, whatever you want to call it, helped y'all. I just wanted to break it down in terms of the different tiers of the progression that I went through in terms of mentorship. And I think that if you got value from this, just continue watching my videos. But with that being said, y'all have a blessed one.